There's a new community theatre company in town. Hood and Dagger Productions is a new venture launched by husband and wife duo Brian and Crystal Hood. Brian is the co-founder and artistic director, and Crystal is the co-founder and production manager, and they're wanting to harness the power of community collaboration. The journey's been a bit of a whirlwind for the duo, but now they look ahead to their first show at the end of the month. Good morning, Brian and Crystal.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Crystal, where did the idea for Hood and Dagger come from?
Well, it's been in our minds for a while, but really for me, it was after pandemic. It was the fall 2022, and we saw an ad on Facebook for Holy Hams in Selkirk. They were going to be doing MASH, and I'm a huge fan of the MASH TV show, and it was enough characters where we thought both of us could get a part. And so I thought I would just get like a small bit part, but I got one of the main females, and it was just transformational. After pandemic, I had really low self-esteem, and my mental health was not very good. But being part of this group, it was like a second family, and it just changed. My faith in humanity was revived, and it was just an incredible experience. And so I want to bottle that, and I want to give that to every Winnipegger.
Wow. Okay. So you have this experience. You struggled a little bit. You had this amazing experience with this kind of community theatre group. You decide then to set your own up. So then what were the next steps, Brian?
Yeah. So I've been working in theatre for 30 years. It's been something that's been a passion of mine on and off all throughout my life here. And so when I saw how much Crystal enjoyed this, it just rekindled that kernel that's always been growing in me about, setting up our own theater company here. So the next steps we took are just reaching out to everybody we knew who already had a theater company, asking for advice. We spoke to tons of different folks in Winnipeg here, the Aronoviches who are involved in the Winnipeg Jewish Theater, as well as, George Burry and Mike Seckham and a whole bunch of other different individuals that have helped us in the past. And so, that got us going, and we incorporated here our non-for-profit business in January 2024. So we're brand new babies out there.
Amazing. So tell us about what Hood and Dagger is all about.
What makes us unique is our mission, which is to build community through community theater. And so, for example, of that, our first show, which is Journey to the Center of the Earth, coming up May 30th to June 2nd, we have from the Scandinavian Cultural Center, the Silitones. You might have heard them from Folklorama. They're going to be performing a set live before every production. They perform traditional folk Nordic music, and the play is set in Iceland, so it sets the mood. Mm-hmm. Also, Canada Life has granted us permission to use their parking lot for our shows. And the Whodunit bookstore, a local bookstore, is going to be having a booth set up in the lobby for every show. And then...
Yeah, and so we're including all of these different community partners because we want this theater to be more than just theater. We want it to be an event that the entire community can celebrate and be involved with here. And so by including these extra partners, I think we can turn it into a real event where people can see their neighbors, their dentists, their lawyers, the person who's bagging their groceries. Any of those folks can be involved in our productions, and you can see them on stage and meet them in a different facet of their life, on a different journey altogether.
Yeah. And why was that important that you do that extra step?
Well, I think it's important that nowadays there's a little bit more division than maybe there used to be. And so anything that can bring people together to understand through a common bond, something bigger than what we all go through on our own day-to-day life, to bring it into that realm of fantasy for a moment, a little bit of an escapism perhaps, can be very powerful and can be very moving. And we've seen a diversity of different ages and groups and backgrounds and experience levels included in our productions here. And that's something important when we are casting, when we're including people, is it's not all just veteran theater folk. Yeah. We made an exceptional point to bring in individuals who have never done it before, who are from different groups who maybe aren't represented as much. And so that way we can have just more cross-pollination between these individuals as they're working together. And that's something very important to us going forward as well.
Is this like all you guys talk about as you're starting up? Like what's it like working together and being married to each other and having this passion project? Because clearly you're both very passionate about this.
Well, it really works out the because Brian is really he knows all the theater and the dynamics of there, and so that's his expertise, and mine is organization and website building and marketing, and so the two of us combined are what makes it work. But we are looking to build our team, so we are looking to makeup, backstage, lighting, sound, anything to do with the theater on stage and off stage. We are looking for additional volunteers to build our team.
Yeah, I think what's really important to us is that this isn't just a two-person operation here. We have a volunteer board of directors who are helping out with the strategic vision. Bobby Curry and Siraj Laki are on that board, and we're looking to expand that in the future as well, so that this is again bigger than us, just like we want the theater to be bigger than just theater.
So your first show you mentioned in a couple of weeks, Journey to the Center of the Earth. What can people expect?
Oh, well, it's based on that classic Jules Verne tale from long ago. And he was a science fiction writer, right? He was writing things that hadn't yet been discovered. What's in the middle of the earth? What's 20,000 leagues under the sea and whatnot? This script is a live radio play adapted by John Delancey from a script based on Nat Sagaloff. And John Delancey, by the way, was of Star Trek fame, played the character Q. And so this is a sort of an homage of science fiction set in the 1950s radio station that brings these actors into the play, and they have a transformative experience, I think is how I'd describe it.
And because it's a 1950s radio station, we have live Foley artists on set who'll be performing. We have a wind machine. We have all kinds of fancy sound effect equipment so you can watch live on stage, and a live pianist who'll be playing live on stage, and transformational sets. I have been busy in the garage, and so the sets may change as you watch the show.
Okay. Crystal, you talked about how you're really good at the organization side of things, but you also have a background in music as well. What's it like to kind of be back into that performance arena?
That's right. It's fantastic to use those skill sets. And so I've arranged the music for the show. It's all based on music from Edvard Grieg, another Nordic composer, for the show. And it's really enjoyable to get back into that side of things.
How have you decided what other productions you're going to what kind of shows you're going to do for the rest of the season?
So that's something that was important to us as well, is that we wanted to produce the kind of theater you might not normally see at the community theater stage here in Winnipeg. Often it's comedies and farces, which I love a good comedy and I love a good farce. But we wanted to put forth some thrillers, some mystery, some film noir, adventure, science fiction, things you don't typically see on stage here in Winnipeg at the amateur level. And so it's important to us that we put together a full season so that there's lots of opportunities for folks to get involved and for audiences to understand what we're trying to get across here with our genres.
Crystal, at the start of this conversation, I asked you where you came up with this idea, and you talked about some of the struggles that you were dealing with during the pandemic, self-esteem, isolation, and you wanted to create this family. So tell us about the family that you've created.
So we have a fantastic cast and crew. We have from people just starting out, learning the theater world, and then people who have done dozens and dozens of shows, and it's just been gelling so well, and we're just so proud of everyone, and just one of our missions is just to have that community at the cast level, the crew level, and as well as to bring the community in. I will note all the profits earned from this show will be donated by us to the by Hood and Dagger to the Westminster United Church to help fix their roof.
Oh, and why was that important for you?
Well, we wanted it to be a fundraiser here as well, because that's another reason for the whole community to come behind, to be engaged in the project here. It makes it about more than just seeing an exciting show.
It's about community.
About community bringing people together. And so a fundraiser we thought was a natural way to start off our season for our very first show.
Well, good luck with your first show, and congratulations for getting your own theatre company started.
Oh, thank you very much. And if anyone's interested in tickets, they can go to our website at www.hoodanddagger.ca.
Brian and Crystal Hood. Brian is the co-founder and artistic director of Hood and Dagger, and Crystal is the co-founder and production manager. And their first show, Journey to the Center of the Earth, is on May 30th and runs until June 2nd. And you can learn more about them and purchase tickets to their show on their website, hoodanddagger.ca. There's a